Good afternoon. Can you show this on? Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. Come on in and take a seat. And welcome to the 6th Annual Clean Energy Hall of Fame Awards. It is great to be here. I'm David Hochschild, Chair of the Energy Commission, and along with all of my colleagues, fellow commissioners, staff, and the rest of our team, Secretary Crowfoot, we want to welcome you here today. We got a great program. But at the outset, I just want to say it has been, I think we have to all acknowledge, an incredibly tough year. 2025 is throwing a lot at us. But the way we get through that is by coming together and leaning into our mission together and supporting each other. And there's a lot of hope, I think, in this room and in this state. And I just want to share this morning, I was in Oakland, California. We had a delegation of 18 state legislators from 18 different states come in to tour a bunch of our clean energy projects. We took them to a site in Oakland called Zoom, which is the first, Oakland's the first city in North America to fully electrify their school bus fleet. 74 buses, 74 chargers, largest vehicle to grid project in North America. And it's located in this site that's all this shipping, these polluting diesel trucks right next door from the port. And I just had this feeling of, incredible hope and possibility, and also very clear about the next set of work we still have to do. And so we're all in on that mission. We're not going to give up. In fact, I think that's the main lesson in these tough times is never give up. Never give up, and let's support each other. And that's really what today is about. So we started this award in 2020, really to lift up some of the amazing local leadership happening around our state that's too often totally uncelebrated. And we set out to change that. We have an incredible nominations committee. And to the winners, our message is very simple every year. Our nominations committee, our selection committee does not make mistakes, okay? You guys are getting recognized because your work is incredible, and we're here to celebrate you, to lift you up, and to support you on this journey. And thank you for being here. Thank you for inspiring us. So with that, if I could ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Now, I'd like to ask, let's just take a minute and please just introduce yourself to everybody sitting next to you. And just take a second to meet your neighbors. All right. This happens every year. Every time we start, it's hard to stop. So. All right. Here we go. Thank you. So with that, I want to just recognize we're all here in the headquarters of the California Natural Resources Agency. The California Natural Resources Agency, which is 28 different agencies working to protect our land, our water, to advance our clean energy and climate goals. And that agency is led by an incredible public servant who we're going to have up to make a few remarks. Please give a warm welcome for Secretary of Natural Resources, Wade Crowfoot.
Thanks, David. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to help kick things off. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite days of the year, celebrating clean energy champions from across California that are actually driving what is remarkable global leadership. The way I think about it is California is a pretty extraordinary place, comprised or filled with extraordinary people doing amazing things. And this day is all about lifting up leaders. Now, you probably know this if you're in the room, but for those who don't, the world is looking to California on this transition that we're driving forward. And for decades, California has been on a quest to reduce pollution, particularly in the communities that are most burdened by pollution, and shift to clean, abundant, affordable, clean energy, recognizing it's the best for California, our communities, and ultimately what we need to do in the world to combat climate change. And remarkably, thanks to the leadership of the California Energy Commission and the California Public Utilities Commission, a lot of state agencies and community champions, we've got a remarkable story to tell. You know, last year, California, which is the fourth largest economy in the world, if you measure us by GDP or economic output, 2/3 of the energy that powered our state and that economy is clean energy. And that wasn't that way 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and was a result of, yes, our state leaders, but the work of so many communities, so many local governments, so many tribes, so many grassroots organizations, community-based organizations, environmental justice leaders, and we're in this remarkable place. There's so many statistics that I won't bore you with, but I'll share one, which is California has brought on more energy storage than almost anywhere in the world, and actually driven down the cost of energy storage very recently, much like we did with solar energy. And energy storage is really important because as we bring on more solar and wind energy, that's cheaper and cheaper, that energy is intermittent or only happens when the sun's out and the wind is blowing. So that energy storage is really, really important. And it's only one of so many areas that California has driven. This recognition, this Clean Energy Hall of Fame, is about recognizing the heroes that are getting it done. Sometimes people like David or me, because we're in these governmental positions, we get attention for the work that our teams do. But so often, the folks doing the tough work on the ground, driving these solutions, don't get the recognition. So Noemi Gallardo, this remarkable commissioner, and her team, and so many others in the CEC had this vision to really lift up the true heroes of the clean energy movement, who we have celebrated in the past and will celebrate a new class today. So I couldn't be prouder to be part of this, and can tell you, if you are a recipient of the award, you join a remarkable set of leaders. And year over year, we are building a permanent record of who is truly driving this people-centered transition towards clean energy across California. So I would say, let's let the program continue and recognize these remarkable champions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary. And I also just wanted to acknowledge the rest of our amazing commissioners. If I could just have you stand up. Let's give it up for Vice Chair Siva Gunda. He is, among many things, he's leading SB 100, the effort to get to 100% clean energy. Our terrific newest addition to the Energy Commissioner, Commissioner Nancy Skinner. Can you stand up wherever you are? Somewhere back here. Maybe she's on the call outside. So she'll be in momentarily. Commissioner McAllister is actually on a delegation to Mexico. We're really leaning into that relationship right now. But really, I wanted to give a special acknowledgement to the commissioner who is really the heart of this agency. And her husband, Emilio, who's here as well, was my chief of staff for a couple of years. He called me a year or two back. He's like, you got to give me my wife back. She's like doing emails until 11 at night every night. And I use it. But really, Commissioner Gallardo has been one of the most dedicated public servants I've ever had the privilege to work with. She goes into communities, in every corner of the state, builds relationships. She's made a commitment to visit every single one of our 109 federally recognized Native American tribes in the state. We're doing a bunch of those together. And she is the lead on this event. So let's give it up for Noemi Gallardo. Thank you. Next, I want to just give a special thanks to the selection committee. We are also very careful about selecting the selection committee because their choices matter, and we have an amazing group. Please hold your applause till I read all their names. We have 3 former Clean Energy Hall of Fame winners are on that committee, including Ray Leon, who won in 2020, the Reverend Frank Jackson Jr., Julie Zeitlin, who's a Youth Game Changer awardee last year, and then 5 members from our peer agencies: Ina Lupin from the Strategic Growth Council, Sarah Rubin from the Department of Conservation, Nuaki Schwartz from the California Natural Resources Agency, Joe Shea from the California Natural Resources Agency, and Luam Tesfaye from the CPUC. Let's give them their round of applause. And with that, let me welcome Luam to make a few remarks.
Thank you. I couldn't hop up onto the stage like Secretary Crowfoot. I saw him doing that and I said, not a good move for me. So I had the honor today to prepare a few remarks about kind of what it's meant to me to serve on the selection committee. But I first wanted to introduce myself. So I'm Luam Tesfaye. I serve as the Deputy Executive Director for Energy and Climate Policy at the California Public Utilities Commission. And in that role, I lead our energy division staff, and we're doing things like implementing energy policies like energy efficiency, demand response, and demand flexibility. We do the transmission permitting throughout the state, bringing electricity from areas where we're generating it to where our customers live. We also do oversight of the EPIC Research and Development Program, as well as doing the integrated resources planning, resource adequacy, and implementation of the renewable portfolio standard. So working with our sister agencies like the CEC to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from the electricity sector, while also maintaining reliability. And I really have the honor of doing all of this work with the CEC, the California Air Resources Board, the team at the California Natural Resources Agency, and the California Independent System Operator. So it's really a pleasure to join you all here today. Also, my gratitude goes to Commissioner Gallardo and Chair Hochschild for bringing all of us here together. And we do this every December. And it's really such a great opportunity to reflect on the accomplishments over the last year, but more importantly, to celebrate all of the amazing people who are bringing all of these programs that I mentioned earlier to life through the Clean Energy Hall of Fame Awards. And so having this honor of serving on the selection committee for the Clean Energy Hall of Fame since its inception has really created an opportunity for me every year to go through the dozens of applications for the nominations. And really, as a public servant, I'm always looking for these opportunities to better understand how our policies and our programs are touching the lives of everyday Californians. And often that is participating in a workshop or a public hearing, getting out into the field and visiting some of our clean energy projects like the storage that Secretary Crowfoot talked about, visiting worker development and training centers. But really the Clean Energy Hall of Fame Awards is really an opportunity for me to see individual highlights of people who every day are bringing our programs to life and really telling us about how California is filled with so many innovators, advocates, and entrepreneurs that have such a deep commitment to bringing the promise of clean energy future to everyone in California. And as Chair Hochschild said, 2025 has really been a challenging year, from the devastation of the wildfires in Los Angeles to really the federal headwinds that have really been challenging the energy and the climate sector. As we close 2025, I was making some remarks actually to my team at a holiday event we had earlier this week, and really thinking of us as a phoenix rising from the ashes, because we have really made many headwinds this year, as Secretary Crowfoot said, blowing through our battery storage goals and continuing to bring record amount of clean energy to the grid. And so with that, I really want to give a special thank you to everyone, all of the winners that we're mentioning here today, because of all of the ways that you are inspiring everyone who's working in this building and working at all of our sister agencies to continue to do our work as you're bringing these programs to life every day in California. So just thank you so much for inspiring me every day. And I really am honored to be on the selection committee. Thank you. It's perfect.
Buenas tardes. Good evening. How is everyone? Are you good? Yeah. As was said earlier, I'm Noemi Gallardo. I'm one of the 5 commissioners for the California Energy Commission. I am so grateful to have the opportunity to lead this effort of having Clean Energy Hall of Fame Awards every year. And one of the most fun aspects of it is to work with the selection committee. They do a lot of work, and Luam didn't mention that because it is so much fun to go through and see all the great things that people are doing throughout our great state of California. So thank you, Luam, for representing the selection committee. And I think we have some other selection committee members in the room. Is anyone here? I think I saw Sarah earlier. Yes, there she is over there. So thank you, Sarah. I see Ina as well. So that's how much this means to them. They're here to witness all of it. So I want to say that this day is kind of like a holiday for us. We have so much fun with it. We start out with a luncheon earlier in the day for our winners. And then we have this ceremony and we'll also have a reception. So it's a full thing that we do and really glad that we can spend this time with all of you. So I have the honor of transitioning us to the awards. The Energy Commission works with the Sacramento Tree Foundation, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to grow thriving communities through the stewardship of urban forests. Is anyone here from the Sacramento Tree Foundation today? Yes, in the back over there. Please raise your hand again so folks can see. Thank you so much. So the Sacramento Tree Foundation provides a plaque for each of the winners and plants a tree in their honor. The trees planted for each of our winners serves as a living memorial. As the tree grows, we envision also the work of our winners growing and flourishing. And the plaques are made with wood from logs that were diverted from landfills to the Sacramento Tree Foundation's Urban Wood Rescue Program. So by using this wood for the plaques, we reduce waste and sequester carbon. So I want to show you these plaques. This one's made from redwood. So it's really beautiful. So again, thank you to the Sacramento Tree Foundation for that. And let's applaud them for helping us with our clean energy future. All right, so this year, aside from the plaques and the tree planting, we will also present certificates of recognition to all of our winners from Congresswoman Doris Matsui, who has fervently represented our great state of California for over 20 years. She currently represents California's 7th District, which includes our capital, the city of Sacramento. The Congresswoman could not make it today, but she sent her representative, Viviana Garcia, who I believe is in the audience. Viviana? Oh, there you are. Thank you for joining us. So I want to show this again. So these are the certificates that we will be handing out to each of our winners. So on behalf of the Congresswoman and Viviana, congratulations to each of our winners. Now we will meet the winners one by one. There are 6 total. We will start with the Lifetime Achievement Award. This award recognizes an individual who has at least 20 years of experience advancing clean energy, is seen as a leader in their community, and who has had a significant positive impact on the state of California and justice communities in particular. This year's Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Marty Turok from San Diego. Let's learn more about him in this video.
I was born on Long Island, New York, the third of 4 children, and our home was just 30 miles outside of Manhattan. So we were close to the Big Apple, but we lived in a suburban neighborhood. My dad was a lawyer and my mom was a teacher, and from an early age, I was totally fascinated by science and innovation. I was pretty much expected to be a doctor or a lawyer. And that was fine with me because I loved all my courses in math and science, and I wanted to pursue a career that would have a positive impact. So when I was accepted into Princeton University, I decided to major in pre-med and chem engineering, but when I graduated with honors in 1978, I wasn't accepted into medical school. So I decided to see what kind of jobs my chemical engineering degree could get me. I got an offer from Anheuser-Busch to be a brewmaster, probably the dream job for every 22-year-old college grad. But I had one more interview at General Electric. When I learned that I could graduate on a management track in just 2 years, I decided to forego the job in beer to accelerate my career. At 34, I was the youngest general manager in GE Canada when a global recession hit in 1990. Working closely with my HR manager, Nancy Bolton, when we both got transferred back to the US headquarters in Albany, New York, we began to spend more time together, and I realized that Nancy was my best friend and could be a great life partner. And then I got transferred to Hong Kong about 3 months after we started dating. But after a year of long distance, I invited Nancy to come out to Bali during a big work event, and I proposed to Nancy in a helicopter over the Mount Batur volcano. And I'm pleased to announce that our 30th anniversary is coming up on December 22nd. As exciting and rewarding as my career was at GE, by the time of the 2000 dot-com bust and economic slowdown, gasoline prices were over $4 a gallon for the first time, and I could see the writing on the wall. When I learned about the launch of Cleantech San Diego, a new trade association, the opportunity spoke to me, so I offered to do some pro bono consulting. One thing led to another, and SDG&E hired me to lead Cleantech San Diego's first Greening San Diego program, driving energy efficiency with their local government partnerships group. We recognized with our limited resources, we needed to be very selective in choosing projects that had tangible outcomes with easily measured impact. So, from the street lighting working group to the K-12 schools collaborative that I led, I always asked the participants what their biggest issues and interests were, and then took a technology agnostic, vendor agnostic approach to educating them on all of the potential solutions.
He could guide people without seeming to dictate the outcome to them, which is a real skill when you're trying to build consensus among diverse interest groups.
Across the SDG&E service territory, we deployed the first LED street lights, parking lights, and classroom lights, the first peak shaving energy storage, the first Z&E retrofit schools, and the first 87 electric school buses at 11 of 12 school districts that had routes going through disadvantaged communities.
He's touched the lives of a lot of organizations and helped build a lot of entrepreneurs, and has been a part of launching a lot of new kind of clean innovations and clean technologies. But the thing that really has always captured my attention with Marty is his focus on schools. It's helping to lower electricity bills for a lot of our school districts, and again, creating a cleaner, better environment for our students to learn.
In 2016, when the CEC recognized that we were not tracking to meet the 2045 zero carbon electricity goal, the EPIC team conceptualized the statewide entrepreneurial ecosystem, which included the Southern California Energy Innovation Network.
When we first launched this program, the Southern California Energy Innovation Network, 9 years ago, I think we had 3 companies that initially expressed interest in the program. And we quickly learned that there was a need. Those 3 companies went to almost 80 pretty quickly.
The SEEN program, which the CEC created and supported, has been an amazing platform to allow usually younger people, younger companies, to have a place to talk to people who will listen.
While our SEED program has a financial ROI of greater than 80 to 1, more importantly, the return on human capital is greater than 250 to 1, recognizing all of the energy and facilities managers and CEOs and entrepreneurs that I've mentored over the last 20 years. My legacy and biggest contribution to the clean energy transition that will live on well beyond me will be the projects and new products and services yet to be deployed and commercialized by all of my mentees and all of their mentees.
As you just saw, significant impact, in fact, in his local community of San Diego but that local impact has rippled throughout the state. He is one of the reasons why the Energy Commission is doing work in Lithium Valley, which is one of the policy areas I lead. So I'm grateful to him on a personal level as well. And Marty was one of the first believers in the potential of lithium in the Salton Sea and introduced us to developers in that area. But of course, with Marty, he was most excited about the opportunities that a lithium industry could provide for that community that has been under-resourced, underinvested, and overlooked for too long. So Marty, thank you for being such a good human being. Please come up to receive your award.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Hochschild, Commissioner Gallardo, and everyone who's involved with these Clean Energy Hall of Fame Awards for acknowledging my clean energy body of work with this prestigious award. Now, I hope I don't scare you, but I got to go rogue because I see that there's a timekeeper here that has 3 minutes, and I'm the OG in the room. This is a Lifetime Achievement Award. I've worked 69 years waiting for this moment. And so I hope that you'll bear with me for 6 minutes so that I can share hopefully some insights that may help you in making some important decisions in your life and also continuing to accelerate the clean energy transition. So I am both honored and humbled to be just the 6th recipient of this CEC Clean Energy Lifetime Achievement Award, alongside my 5 distinguished predecessors, Dr. James O'Bannon, Dr. Peter Lehman, Dr. Carol Zabin, my Princeton 1978 classmate, Cliff Rechtschaffen, and Gene Rodriguez, all who paved the way for me by launching policies and building statewide support and momentum to address what we, who make decisions based on peer-reviewed scientific data, recognize as an existential challenge. While I received a number of rewards and recognition during my first 23-year career with the General Electric Company, I was very fortunate to have had a front row seat in watching how Jack Welch led GE to become the #1 market capital company in the world. However, with over 300,000 employees and technology centers of excellence around the globe, we were expected to win every battle. This award, coming from the world's preeminent energy policy and planning agency, is by far and away my proudest moment and my premier achievement. The clean energy teams that I've worked with have contributed to environmental stewardship, public health, and economic development, starting here in California, spreading across the country, and some even around the globe. In July 2001, when GE's plastics and silicones businesses were on the downslide toward single-digit growth, I accepted an offer that I couldn't refuse to join the C-suite team at Graviton, Kleiner Perkins' first investment in an Internet of Things company, because I thought it was time for me to explore my own entrepreneurial spirit. But less than a year later, unfortunately, Graviton was not able to survive the post-9/11 economic downturn, and I found myself facing another career pivot. But rather than immediately reaching out to the executive recruiters to seek out my next C-suite role back on the corporate treadmill, with my Buddhism mindset and collaborating with Nancy, we both decided that we really enjoyed the balance that our Southern California lifestyle provided. So I want to sincerely thank Cleantech San Diego, SDG&E, and the CEC for providing me a forum and funding that enabled me to reinvent myself in cleantech. I had the best job in the world, working with some of the brightest and nicest people on the planet, working towards our mutual goal. While I was the catalyst, cheerleader, conscience, and scorekeeper, it was the 400+ energy, facilities, and maintenance managers, CEOs, and entrepreneurs who participated in my working groups in the SEEN program who actually deployed the more than 2,000 clean energy projects. And it was the 300+
professors, engineers, and researchers at the CEC, SDG&E, our regional universities, and Cleantech San Diego's member companies, who not only mentored me, but they were the secret sauce, providing technical and marketing insights, as well as pilot sites for a number of our municipal partners and seen startup companies. When I tried to come up with a short list of the earliest adopters or those who had achieved the most significant energy and GHG reductions, unfortunately, I could only whittle it down to about 50. So to all of you who know who you are, I just want to express my friendship for your partnership, and most importantly, your contributions to California's success, because it's your contributions that have really created my success. That said, I would like to call out several people in the audience who have supported very special support to me. And first, of course, is my wife, Nancy Turok, who from Braylon Murray's fantastic video, you now know has been the love of my life for the last 30 years. But what you don't know is that while Nancy was Vice President of Human Resources for Elan Pharmaceutical, there was a 2-year-plus period pre-COVID that she had to commute to San Francisco every week so that we could keep the home that we love in San Diego. So, that's just a, fantastic soul partner, soulmate. Next. Next is my sister, Laura Nadler, who's been my closest sibling since the day that I was born. And she flew out from Washington, D.C. to be here, be by my side for another special family occasion. So thank you, Laura. Jason Anderson, if you could acknowledge. Jason's the president and CEO of Cleantech San Diego, and Jason and I have partnered for over a decade to accelerate the clean energy transition across the greater San Diego region. And next to Jason is Zach Dobbin, who took over as the program leader for the SEEN program when I launched my retirement. So again, tremendous support from them. And I would like to call out Jim Waring, Lisa Bicker, Holly Smithson, Shannon Bresnahan, Martha Carver, Alyssa Gutner-Davis, Natalie Toon, and Ileana Kenyon for their tremendous friendship and support over the 16 years that I worked with Cleantech San Diego. And finally, I'm getting to the end, I'd just like to conclude by saying that although we have we've lost the tremendous tailwind of a committed federal clean energy policy, plus the accompanying significant grant and loan funding, at this point in time, every country, every company, and every utility are continuing full steam ahead with all of their clean energy initiatives, even though they may currently be green hushing, because they all know that it's the fastest and cheapest way that they're going to be able to achieve economic competitiveness, operational resiliency, and energy security. In fact, IKEA's CEO, Jesper Brodin, has come up with a very simple catchphrase that climate smart is cost smart. And so really that's a tremendous tailwind that all of you now have that I didn't have for most of the 20 years that I was on my mission to scale clean energy deployments. So I call on my fellow CEC Hall of Fame awardees here today and all of you to continue to educate and advocate everyone across your personal clean energy networks about all of the currently actionable solutions that can drive the transition to a clean energy future for all. And I am very confident that together we can and we will achieve our decarbonization, economic development, and climate justice goals. So again, thank you to everybody who's made this very special day possible. Thank you.
This is yours too. Well, thank you, Marty. And, one of the things I find most personally inspiring is seeing young people get engaged in climate solutions and clean energy and stepping into leadership role. And so we created an award just for that purpose, the Youth Game Changer Award, which is really designed to lift up youth leaders working in this space, becoming the next generation of energy experts and entrepreneurs and leading to change the game. We have an amazing young woman here with us tonight who's this year's winner. Her name is Judith Gomez from Porterville, and we're going to hear about her in this video.
I grew up with a lot of animals. I had ducks, chickens, horses, llamas, peacocks, even cockatiels and dogs and cats. And so I think that growing up with animals not only taught me empathy and the ability to just like care for other living beings, but also it gave me more of, it allowed me to appreciate nature more. My name is Judith Gomez. I'm born and raised in Porterville, California in the Central Valley, and we are currently at Monache High School, which is where I'm conducting a lot of my environmental work along with Climate Action Pathways for Schools, or CAPS. So CAPS is a nonprofit organization that partners with school districts that have large communities of underrepresented or underserved students. And through working with these school districts, they help them reduce greenhouse gas emissions and thereby lowering operating costs. CAPS attracts a lot of the overachievers and ambitious students within my school district. And so I end up working with a lot of students and even underclassmen that had the same goals that I had at their age. And they told me, like, we really want to achieve the same type of academic success that you have, and we really appreciate your help. So I was like, oh my God, yes, of course I'll help you. I feel like I have all this information, and I feel like why not help them out whenever they're trying to achieve the same goal that I already did. And so I really enjoy talking to them because not only do they look up to me, but they also remind me of myself at their age. And so it's really fulfilling to help them achieve their goals as well. I think growing up in the Central Valley has really taught me resilience because we face so many challenges, not just environmental, which I know is a big part of what we're doing here, but also like socioeconomic challenges. And so through living in the Central Valley, you really have to learn resilience and powering through all these obstacles. The percentage of adults within the US that have asthma is around 7.7%, and in Tulare County it's 15.5%. So it's double that number basically. My dad and my sister both have asthma, and a lot of my classmates growing up had asthma.
We're going to talk about life insurance. So what type of life?
What's wonderful about Judith is the fact that she does everything without any kind of need or want for recognition. She is just a driven, independent young woman that does everything because she loves her community. She found her community through other interns like herself, and she just wants to make a difference.
I was told that I was supposed to be working on a project where I collaborate with the city of Porterville and a local Native American tribe to design a series of signs that would go on this new trail. Through working on that project and running the social media account for PUSD, I learned a lot about CAPS's mission, and I got to see all the amazing environmental engineering work that my peers were doing. After my year, I ended up starting a new position as an engineering intern for CAPS. Once I was signed on as an engineering intern, I was able to do a lot of the more exciting and impactful work that CAPS does within my school district, such as conducting energy audits on buildings in order to identify areas of energy waste that can be improved on in the future in order to not only reduce greenhouse gas emissions, but also reduce operating costs for the school district. Last summer, a group of researchers from Stanford contacted CAPS and asked them if they could install air quality sensors across some of our school sites. And so I ended up writing an article that's published on Stanford's Climate, Energy, and Policy Program website. And that was a really great opportunity. I got to meet researchers at Stanford, which is now where I'm attending in the fall. And that was really exciting and really insightful into the world of scientific research. And it just felt like I was really making the impact that is needed in my community.
We invite Judith to come share a few words and accept her award. I wanted to bring up Bill Kelly, who started the organization that Judith has been involved with. Bill is a legend in his own right. He's one of the top energy efficiency experts in the United States. He went on from there to the solar industry, and probably 15 years ago, we had less than 1% of new homes being built with solar on the roof. Now, every new home is built with solar on the roof, and Bill was instrumental in that. Had a lot of success in the solar and efficiency industry, and he decided to move on from there to start an incredible nonprofit, Climate Action Pathways for Schools, and started commuting 5 hours down to Porterville to start this program to get young people involved in these solutions, to train them on how to do these energy efficiency retrofits, electric school buses, solar on the roof, making these retrofits to their schools and training young folks to come into the field. And so we're super grateful to Bill to have you here, and he's going to introduce Judith. So let's give it up for Bill Kelly.
Wow. Thank you, David. Climate Action Pathways for Schools, we help students prepare in their college and career paths to work in environmental fields and really drive a sustainable economy. And Porterville Schools was the first partner we had, a really critical partner, a great community. I wanted to just acknowledge Cindy Garcia Brown, who's here from the district. They are fantastic. Porterville is in the Central Valley, and it is a community, actually like most communities, there's a lot of challenges that we're facing. From air pollution, daily strings of bad air, worsened by fire, wildfires. We've got severe heat, extreme heat events, severe droughts. Sounds depressing. Do not be discouraged, because the school community really is ready to take on the challenges. And wisely, what they're doing is focusing on their students and their youth in the community and providing those youth opportunity, and they're changing the lives of those students. So it's really an impressive community that's taking on these challenges. Judith is a rising star from that community. She is a graduate from the Porterville's Academy of Engineering this past spring, and is attending Stanford, as you heard in the video. And she worked for us for 3 years. And she's intelligent. She is really thoughtful. She is especially she gets the job done, basically. With all of that, she takes the time to help other students out within the program. It was amazing. She learned, and as soon as she learned, she wanted to start helping other people learn with that. Judith took on a really ambitious project that we've got at the school district, and she excelled. And I'm really thankful for having had the opportunity to get a chance to work with you. Mostly what I want to say is you came to work each day with this warm smile. And it's just inspiring, the positive attitude you bring to your work. And I just wanted to congratulate you on establishing your place in the Hall of Fame. Come on up, Judith. You're gonna die. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's do a photo.
Thank you. So I'm going to keep this pretty short. I just wanted to say thank you to CAPS. I literally could not have done any of the work that I did fighting against climate change without the opportunity that I was given through CAPS. And not just CAPS as an organization, but the people that work there too. I mean, Bill and Ryan have been nothing but supportive my entire academic career and throughout everything. And even my parents are here supporting me. And one of my best friends, she drove all the way up from Porterville. It's a really long drive. And yeah, so I really could not have been here without all the people behind me supporting me. And like it says in the title of my award, Youth Game Changer, this is just the beginning. I'm still young and I have so much in my career ahead of me. And and yeah, so thank you. I'm just really appreciative. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Judith. Next up, we have another really special award, which is the Tribal Champion Award. The tribes in California are doing some amazing path-breaking work on bringing clean energy mainstream, and we have a terrific winner this year, the chairman of the Middletown Rancheria tribe of Pomo Indians, Mook Simon, who is a force of nature. When I say force of nature, he is a real force because he played NFL defensive lineman for 3 years. So I try to stay on his good side. Among other things, in addition to being, an incredible leader on these issues, he's also a really devoted coach to his football team. And they've done so well, they're now in the playoffs. So he's unable to be with us for a very good reason, but his award is going to be accepted by Vice Chair Larry Galupe. And we'll begin with a little video about Chairman Simon. And then I'll introduce the gentleman who's going to introduce the Vice Chair.
Sports, a big part of my life. I'm always very honest. I went to school to play sports. Mom and Dad made me go to school, but sports was what we loved doing. That's how we stuck together too. All the tribal members were always put on one team. It was just funny how it ended up. And it was kind of us against everybody, and we were good. We'd end up, they'd stick us all on one team and we'd beat everybody and they'd get mad.
He's caring, and his ability to think outside and to forecast and see things in the future, think of things down the line, not just what's right here in front of us.
Yeah, it was a beautiful journey. Took me all over the world, gave me opportunities and stuff coming off this little reservation. But I knew it as a young man. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to play football. As soon as I put my first helmet on, it was a no-brainer. It was somewhere where I could be me. So we are in southern Lake County. We are on the traditional lands of the Middletown Rancheria. We're currently sitting on 323 acres that we have in trust right here, and we're kind of right in the middle of it. Times were tough when we were growing up, but we had everything we needed. We had each other, and it was an experience that probably won't happen again. Growing up on the rancheria, obviously, having water and power, basic necessities. Back in the day when we didn't have nothing, power went out, you had a wood stove, you burned, you just did what you had to do. Right now, we're looking on that journey to have our own power generation with solar, battery backup, whatever it takes to continue on that vision that we have for the long-term goal. After 2015, the Valley Fire, 2017, when the PSPS event started to prevent forest fires, that's when it really started to hit our community hard. Most tribal communities are kind of at the end of the line or backing up into the forest, and so our power is affected more often than not. The Valley Fire, there was no power or energy here for 14 days. But this array right here enhances the opportunities for our tribal elders, anybody who needs a respite, a place to come and to be safe during an event, is right here at our Tribal Administration office. This is our Emergency Operations Center, our medical clinic, all the critical needs and functions for our community, especially during a disaster or a power outage or anything like that. This is a fully functional electric kitchen. We don't have there's no gas or anything powering this. This is all electric. Our goal is to, be as conscious as possible as we move forward and give an opportunity for our members to enjoy and use this area however they see fit. Yeah, we're standing in the middle of our current project that is going to be here. The Middletown Rancheria was successful through the CEC to get an ECA grant to help us build almost a 1 megawatt solar array here on the Rancheria. Doesn't look like much right now, but it's going to be a large project that we're proud to undertake and to work together to get completed with our partners that are helping us through this project. Everything I do isn't for me. It's for someone else that isn't even here yet, and to make sure that their lives are going to be much better than each generation before them. And taking on that aspect, it's not easy. Sometimes you feel like you're alone at the top when you're having a vision and you're moving things forward, but making sure that every decision you make on a daily basis is going to make somebody else's life easier just drives me every day.
All right, so one thing I wanted to just announce, I'm going to go to his playoff game tomorrow, and and I'm going to represent everybody in this room. We have a special football for him that I want to invite all of you to sign who would like to. So let's fill this thing with love for him. And actually, Sarah, you'll be the keeper of the ball. So come, if you want to show Chairman Simon some love, please sign that, and I will bring it to him tomorrow. So with that, I want to invite another extraordinary California tribal leader to come present this award, and that is the former chairman of the Paskenta tribe, Andrew Alejandre. He is doing some amazing work on his tribe with a huge long-duration storage battery, really pioneering a new technology to drive clean energy mainstream. He's going to present the award here. So please welcome Andrew Alejandre.
Wow, thank you so much. To start, when they reached out to me to present this award, I was ecstatic. I was just like so proud, and I felt like I was getting an award, because, and I'll get into that in a minute, but again, my name is Andrew Alejandre. I am now the executive secretary for the Native American Heritage Commission, and I've been in this role for about 11 days and 6 hours. So I'm still a little brand new here, but honored again. And now for the real reason I get this absolute pleasure to stand up here is because of a gentleman who I consider a real inspiration to me. And I know he's an inspiration to many others. And I've known Chairman Simon since I was 8 years old. He was a good friend of my parents. And it's so crazy to look back and just think about things. Back then I was showing him my Pokemon cards. And then 2 years ago, I was showing him, as a tribal leader, I was showing him business ideas on how we can work together. And that was a full circle moment for me and just a special time. And Chairman is such an incredible leader. He's a leader of his people, the Middletown Rancheria Pomo people, where he continues to serve as chairman and is a former District 1 supervisor in Lake County, California, where he served 2 terms. And may I add, proudly, he was the first Native American to hold that seat. Chairman Moak continues to just be compassionate about his work in his community and across Indian country, across California, supporting tribes as much as possible and reminding state leaders that climate change and climate justice must include tribal voices. He is a person who stands on tribal sovereignty, values importance of clean energy project development and policy partnerships. He seeks sustainable solutions that combine innovation and indigenous values when it comes to impacts on his tribe and surrounding communities. And through his leadership, making a historical moment for Middletown Rancheria and California tribes. Middletown Rancheria is the first California tribe to receive an Energy Conservation Assistance Act loan, a step in the right direction towards greater tribal access to energy financing and, more importantly, energy sovereignty. He is a true definition of a champion for Indian country and the future generations. And obviously you heard he cannot be here tonight because he's out there continuing to be a champion, working towards a championship with his football team. So let's hope that Chairman and the Mustangs can bring it home. And at this time, Chairman was kind enough to put together some words via video, so she'll present that now.
Good afternoon, everyone in attendance. First of all, I want to thank my tribal membership of the Middletown Rancheria for the opportunity to be their leader. I also want to thank my tribal council for the constant support and Larry Galupe for accepting this award today on my behalf. This is a great honor bestowed upon me by the California Energy Commission to help carry forward my tribe's energy sovereignty goals. I also want to thank my family, my wife Nancy, my son Joshua, my daughter Teresa, and my grandkids, Bentley and Taylor. Also want to thank all of my extended family members. Today is a huge honor on behalf of the California Energy Commission and Chairman Hochschild. I want to thank you for this honor. This Hall of Fame honor carries deep words and commitment to the state of California to help tribes achieve their goals. Once again, thank you.
And I'd like to acknowledge and thank Senate President Pro Tempore Emeritus Mike McGuire, who represents California's 2nd District, including Lake County, for providing a certificate of recognition to Chairman Simon. So thank you. And on behalf of Chairman Simon, here to accept his award, another dear friend of mine, the Honorable Vice Chairman Larry Galupe.
So as you can see, I am not Chairman Simon. I'm Vice Chairman Larry Galuppi, Middletown Rancheria. I'm humbled to be here representing Chairman Simon tonight. As you know, he is one of our high school football coaches, and he's been practicing from 3 o'clock to 7:30 at night all week with the young men that are going to be hopefully state championships in 2 weeks. So I'd like to thank the CEC. I'd like to thank all my friends with our SiteLogic partners on our new project that we're working on. And of course, I'm humbled, and I'd like to thank my tribal elders, my elders that came before us, and all of our young people in our tribe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I did get a call from Chairman Simon. He says he's going to put you in at middle linebacker tomorrow night, so be ready. Before we move on, I just want to say a word about the tribal work that's happening on tribal energy sovereignty. This is a core part of our mission at the Energy Commission to do right by the tribes. Nothing can make up for the loss of lives and land and language that's happened, but I truly believe we can make a big positive impact leaning in together. And we've pushed out now $135 million for tribal energy sovereignty projects, including EV charging and solar and batteries for 35 different Native American tribes. It wouldn't be possible without the support from Davina Whitethorn and Sierra Graves in the back there. So please congratulate Sierra and her team for all that work. And with that, we're going to take we have a special treat, which is a mother-daughter duo that is going to do a performance. And I'd like to ask everybody to just stand up and give a big rousing welcome to the Phoenix Drum and Dance Company. Welcome.
Which means come dance cuckoo with me.
to the Phoenix Drum and Dance Company. Thank you. Thank you so much. Next up, to introduce our next awardee, I want to welcome an amazing commissioner, Nancy Skinner, who served for 14 years in the State Assembly and State Senate and got some of the most impactful and important climate laws that we have here in California over the finish line, including probably about half of the $8 billion that we're pushing out at the Energy Commission. It's from legislation she authored, and she was appointed by the governor in January of this year. So give a warm welcome to Commissioner Nancy Skinner.
Thank you, Chair. So thank you, Phoenix and Dance Company, again. Now, wasn't that another incredible and vibrant reminder of California's rich and diverse culture? Thank you. I have the honor now to transition us to the next 3 Clean Energy Champion Awards. And I think, as we have come to realize already from the 3 that we have met so far, that the Clean Energy Champion Awards recognize individuals who are combating climate change, cleaning our air, and contributing to California's clean energy future through their bold moves, their leadership, their innovative ideas, and all of it while improving community outcomes. So the first award that I get to introduce goes to Camille Terry from South Los Angeles, South LA, and let's learn more about Camille through this video.
One of the things that I've always been very privileged was always to have folks that were really concerned about my learning. Even though I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, I was always in the magnet program. I was always in these distinguished programs where people were paid to care about how I learned. And because of that, I've been able to, dream crazy possibilities because people cared about my learning. When we first started the company, EVSE technician, that terminology didn't exist. My co-founder worked with the U.S. Department of Labor to create that position. We worked with the Society of Automotive Engineers to legitimize a certification program. And then we created a learning and development department that essentially went and trained across the U.S. They trained over 1,000 people and did it in a way that was so intentional about adult learners, no matter what is the economic status of that learner. And so we've been able to do that in such an impactful way that learning and development department is now its own company. And now they are training not only on EV charging stations, but a whole suite of things that are tied to climate tech, and with that same level of care. Charger Help at its core is a reliability management company for electric vehicle charging stations. Charger Help is unique because we utilize data from the field. We believe that computers cannot tell you everything about itself, and so we work with technicians across the U.S. in order to understand when a station does break, what is happening, and what can you learn from essentially the troubleshooting mechanisms in order to prevent it from breaking the next time.
We are at the Charger Help headquarters, our training hub. This is where we bring technicians to train and learn more about the assets that we fix and use our technology on. So super excited to be in South LA, where we are preparing people for the future. She's just brilliant, and it really doesn't matter what space you put her in. Right now we happen to be in the space of Charger Help. So we're adorned by her brilliance here and how she works, but she's brilliant with her family, she's brilliant with her friends, she's brilliant with how she thinks of the world. Brilliant is the word I would choose for Camille.
certain folk that deal with problems a certain way because everybody's taught it. My dad started his own company, I think when he was like 22 or 23. And so I grew up in a home of a man that really, believed that anything was possible. And really taught us a lot about, problem solving. That was like the one always big joke at our house is that our computers never worked. And my dad would be like, you guys can figure it out. What it took to take care of your customers, what it took to have good work ethic, what it took to take pride in your work. Like I saw that with my dad. And I also learned early on that I never wanted to own my own company. I was just like, you know what, that's a lot. She prepared me to be who I am today from a resiliency standpoint. And she also empowered me to always trust myself and just to know that that there's nothing I can't do. I don't think if I ever told my mom anything that I did, she was never surprised. She'd just be like, of course. Why wouldn't you have done X, Y, and Z? Of course. So that's something that I hold near and dear to me.
Good evening, everyone. I'm truly grateful to be here tonight. Being honored in this type of way is really kind. And it reminds me that every achievement is rooted in the people who shaped me. I want to begin by thanking my mom. My mom passed away about 3 years ago in the middle of building Charter Health. And even though she's no longer here physically, her presence guides everything that I do. She taught me to dream with courage, to work with intention. And my dad gave me the steadiness and possibility. And my brothers and now my nephew reminds me of why this work matters. His future and their future is the reason I continue to imagine bigger and push for better. I always want to honor my team. Charter Health, we started in South Central Los Angeles. I know we call it South LA now, but it'll always be South Central to me because we believe that innovation belongs everywhere. We knew that people with lived experience carries insights and can change industries. And together we built something that reflects the truth. Right now is one of the most important times for bold ideas. The world is shifting and the old ways of solving problems simply won't carry us into the future. We need new thinking, and especially we need ideas from people closest to the challenges. When those voices are heard, they don't just point out what's broken, they help us to see what's possible. Innovation to me has always been about imagination, about taking an idea, doing the daily work to make it real. It's believing that our communities have the wisdom and the creativity to lead the future, not just react to it. So tonight, as I receive this award, I'm reminded of the power of bold ideas and the responsibility we all have to share, to listen to the people most connected to the work. I'm proud of what we've built. I'm even more hopeful about what's ahead. So thank you for seeing us, for honoring my family and my team, and for believing in what's possible with purpose and community come together. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. What a wonderful day of coming together to celebrate such wonderful leaders across California. Thank you and congratulations to all the winners today. I'm Siva Gunda, one of the commissioners at the Energy Commission, currently serving as the vice chair. And I'm thrilled to introduce another clean energy champion, Jaime Limos, representing Sacramento. Let's learn more about him through this video.
So right now where we're in is at the Sacramento Academic Vocational Academy, SAVA, at the Power Inn location. And the importance of this location is this is where we started our lowrider project. This is where we brought the 1964 Chevy Impala. We rolled it into this garage, shared it with the students, and said, this is what we're gonna electrify. And so we wanted to build a project that was culturally relevant, that the youngsters, that our community members could identify with. So when we brought this car into this SAVA location, we also brought our partners along.
What I'm seeing here is more like memories.
Yeah.
You know, like of seeing the students like locked in.
We really
going all the way back.
just fell in love with the project. The project continued to grow and kind of get more fame. And as you could imagine, right, when we first started, there were a lot of maybe folks that saw this project as too visionary. You guys are gonna electrify a lowrider? Well, that sounds cool, but okay.
So one of the things I see about Jaime, when a challenge comes up, he doesn't give up quickly. He looks to see what's the opportunity, what's the chance to see a win-win in that space. So again, with this lowrider project, it started off with no money, no place, but he found the partners, he got folks excited.
So the SAVA leadership felt that this curriculum or that this project was so important that they began developing a green careers pathway. And from this Power Inn site, then it grew into an additional site in North Natomas. And that's where we're working on the car there.
Breathtaking, proud, it's like, what else is possible?
When much of the retrofitting and the electrification of these projects, the zero emission technology is reaching large fleets, is reaching folks who can afford this type of technology, well then, what about the other folks who can't?
He opens doors and brings folks through those doors and does it in a way that helps the entire community. He's someone I look up to.
So Simeon Gant is pretty special here in the Sacramento region. He brought the idea to me and he said, Jaime, there are many communities many of our communities that still don't have, transit or, there's no form of transportation. There are transportation deserts. Why don't we create a mobility hub, in one of these communities? And so I was like, I love it. Let's brainstorm. Let's figure out how we're going to do this. And all we knew was that he had his eye on a parcel of land on the corner of Grand and May in the city of Sacramento. And this is in the Del Paso community, and really just started asking them about some of their transportation challenges. And we already knew what they were gonna say. They're like, well, transit doesn't run through here. There's, people are struggling to get to medical appointments. People can't buy groceries, all of those things. And so Simeon said, well, we think we have the solution.
But it was challenging because even though ARB says the air quality is not good here, even though everybody knows that this is a transportation desert, nobody wanted to invest in it.
They didn't.
sometimes you just got to push, right? You got to push for the communities that have historically been disinvested, right? And got to do it for our people. You know, this is happening here, and then you organize. You said, let's get together with Mutual Assistance Network. Let's get together with all the other community leaders, and let's make this happen. And I was like, let's go. Let's make it happen. So I appreciate you for that, man. You've done real good work.
A lot of people didn't believe in it.
Right. No, it's a lot of trust necessary and stuff like this. So yeah, we really made it happen.
And so that's the type of access and exposure we're trying to create for our community members who normally wouldn't have that type of access. So I was raised in Salinas, California, and this is the central coast of California. My dad immigrated from Michoacán, Mexico, and he's a Purépecha indigenous person, which is the lineage that we follow. My culture, our traditions really have empowered me to get in the role that I'm actually am in. So as a cultural keeper here in the Sacramento region, I'm involved a lot with our indigenous ceremonies. And what that means is I'm a leader and a dance instructor in the Aztec dance ceremonies, and then also in our spirituality.
Before Jaime comes up, I want to invite Nayeli Rodriguez to the podium. Nayeli is a student of the Sacramento Academic and Vocational Academy, also known as SAVA. She'll share a little about Jaime and her experience with the EV Lowrider program. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nayeli Rodriguez, and I'd like to congratulate all of the Clean Energy Hall of Fame winners, but I am here to personally congratulate Jaime Lemos. And so let me get started. In relation to this project, I have a deeper background with the lowrider aspect. However, the integration of electric vehicle conversion creates a unique fusion within this build. Being involved with this project has provided me with valuable knowledge for future car builds and has allowed me to observe the process of EV conversions. This build has been an enjoyable experimental project and a collaboration of innovative minds. Our team has been a pleasure to work with. Everyone is eager to learn and teach in fostering a supportive environment for the past couple of years. Jaime has played a pivotal role in helping us secure an EV engineer who has guided us through the vehicle's conversion process. Thanks to Jaime's networking efforts during this build, we have gained greater exposure for the EV build at different global expos. Even when Jaime isn't physically present with us, he consistently seeks ways to assist, whether he's helping us gather tools or running off to the store to get additional supplies. And Jaime is not only a helping hand in this build, but he's also actively participates in our local lowrider community, supporting club events. His contributions have been essential in presenting the project at global expos, and sometimes, because this is one of the first builds all around, so, we're gonna run through a lot of trial and error, and sometimes, for students, we're all high school students, that can be a little discouraging. But through the process, Jaime always has an uplifting spirit, and he's always very eager and a little uppity whenever we come in. So thanks to his happy energy, it kind of brings us a little back to life. So once again, thank you for your positive and clean energy, and congratulations.
Welcome Jaime to come over.
Wow. I was telling some folks that
pretty nervous, and usually I'm not so nervous. I speak in different areas and panels and discussions, nationally and everywhere. And, someone said, it's because this is about you, not about what you're doing, and I said, no, this is not about me. This is about the community I come from. This is about the community that I represent. I want to thank the California Energy Commission, the commissioners. Thank you for bringing out some cultural representation, the drumming. Commissioner Gallardo, muchas gracias. It was a way to ground me. It was a way to ground all of us. This is a challenging time, and so receiving this award during this time, an energy award, no less, that involves science and engineering and STEM, for a young man, a homeboy from the barrio, from Salinas, At the same time, so excited and overwhelmed with pride, not knowing whether I'm going to be detained when I leave this building, And so there's a lot of conflict with this. But no matter what, this isn't our first time, this isn't our first rodeo, and we can't allow these situations to continue to keep us down. So celebrating all the cultures, look around. All of the cultures, all of the races, all of the cultural groups here coming to celebrate all of us. All of the CEC awardees, all from different backgrounds, younger and older, paving the way for us. So thank you, Marty. There's a few people I want to really thank here, because they're the folks that really take a chance on some of these crazy ideas. I have the Transportation and Climate Change Division team here, the team I oversee. Raise your hand, folks. They really are the ones that, I bring partners and ideas and projects, and they're the ones that really figure it out. I always tell everybody, I was like, yeah, I came to represent, but I really brought the brains with me, So thank you, team, for all of the work and the effort, and always believing in each other and in the team. The Saba partners and GCC, Maury, thank you for not saying no. And you always continue to say yes, all of the time. Even yesterday, I brought in a partner who's talking about transportation and mobility options. And Maury was like, yeah, let's set up a meeting. Let's do this. So thank you for always taking a chance on us. Simeon Gant, are you here, Simeon? There you are, my brother. Stand up. That right there. He and we held hands together to make some of these projects happen when no one believed in this man. No one believed in green tech education, who was promoting education and STEM advancement with African American youth. So when he pitched this idea, I said, we got to figure this out. And so thank you, Simeon. And Jose Bordipo Memba, who today was going to be here, but is having surgery today and couldn't be here, who represents SMUD, our power utility, who always supports our agency and our vision. We don't do this for us, as Marty said, and the chairman, Moak. We do this for the generations to come. 7 generations before us did this for us, and 7 generations, we're going to pay it forward, And so really, the inspiration behind this project was not only was the Rodriguez family, but Nayeli and her brother, who from the very, very beginning were like, we're going to do this and we're going to figure this out. I'm betting that if we didn't raise the money to do that, the Rodriguez family would have probably figured out a way to do it. And this is why we do it, because it's put Nayeli on national platforms. It's put her in areas speaking with international delegates who are electrifying and decarbonizing our transportation sector. And here they are talking to Nayeli and many of our lowrider youth builders. What are hydraulics? We didn't even know you could put hydraulics in a car. This is cool. And that's why we do it. And then finally, I do want to thank my family. I think my daughters are here and my wife is here. And happy birthday, Christina. But thank you again.
Congratulations. Appreciate it. Congratulations, Jaime. That was amazing. And we had a chance to visit earlier at lunch as well. Next up, I want to introduce a remarkable Californian who's going to introduce our final awardee. Mayor Ray Leon is mayor of Huron. He was actually himself the recipient of the very first Clean Energy Champion Award we did back in 2020. He started an amazing program in his community, Green Rateros, which is doing ride shares with electric vehicles. He's been a passionate leader for the clean energy cause to get to 100% clean energy. He's the founder also of the Latino Equity Advocacy and Policy Institute known as LEAP, and he is a force of nature himself. So give a warm welcome to Mayor Ray Leon.
Thank you, David. Thank you very much. Another applause for David and his leadership as chair of CEC. Buenas tardes, everybody. Ray Leon, Mayor City of Huron. Huron is my hometown where my father arrived in 1951 as an undocumented from Michoacan 14-year-old orphan. And there I am. I returned and here we are. But earlier I was thinking, yeah, I guess I got it about a few years ago. It turns out it was in 2020. How fast time flies. Around that time, Green Rateros was in the community of Huron, serving farm workers, taking them to doctor's appointments. Today, we're serving 3 different farm worker regions in California, taking down about 300 metric tons of carbon or keeping it from going into the atmosphere. So, I appreciate the leadership and the vision that's behind this institution to support and unveil the innovation that's happening in our neighborhoods, especially in regions that are many times overlooked and undermined. I heard people mention that earlier today. It seems to be the thing and why we're here together, and I think we just got to grow it. And I very much appreciate being here to recognize my homegirl, Dr. Cassandra Little, who is anything but little. She's huge. She's huge in her courage and in her vision to really electrify transportation in the urban core of Fresno, where I was born, And I'm very, very honored to pull her up to the stage in a second after the video. I see you, David. So let's get that video up and going.
I describe Fresno as, connected, and to itself. I just alive, even though people don't think we are, it's alive. And, it's full of innovative people. I put all 110% into whatever I say I'm going to do. If I can't do it, I'm going to tell you I can't do it. But if I say I'm going to do it, I get it done. Well, we provide EV car share. We have over 40 vehicles in our fleet, from cars to SUVs to work trucks to vans. And so now we have van hailing also. We have a fleet of 200 electric bikes. So just listening to what the community says they need, it makes my job easier. California Energy Commission was the first grant to partner with us alongside the TCC before we got the sign off to start.
We understood that we had to be innovative, we had to be personal, we had to be impacting. She's innovative, she's intentional, and she's impacting.
Well, for me, my situation about a year and a half ago, I was in a pretty bad accident. A good friend of mine recommended the program, and it's been a smooth transition. Whenever I need a car, it's available, and almost helps me, just keep things smooth as they should be. So
that's essential to be able to help people where they're at and meet them where they're at to move them forward. I think we don't understand how trapped people feel without transportation. If you got to walk a mile to get to a bus and then take another bus to get somewhere else and then do that back again, that's a huge barrier. Well, initially people were a little skeptical. We put the chargers, the infrastructure in place first. Once we brought the cars on, people were like, what? I can just go out? You can walk out your door if you're approved on our app and check out a car? Yes, exactly. Being able to have access to transportation, you can walk right outside your door and not have to worry about anything except taking care of that, I think has been transformative for our community members. It's been, for me, the reason why I stay, to be honest, is seeing the impact that it's made for people. Yeah, where we are right now is at Legacy Commons, which is one of the Fresno Housing Authority sites. This is one of 5 of our mobility hubs, where we have not only a vehicle for people can check out, we also have the charging infrastructure here that is open to the community, so anyone can come and use the chargers. Just having access to something that people feel that they couldn't afford on their own, but we tell them that that's theirs. It has been, I think it has been tremendous. People have taken like ownership of the process as well as the cars. So if you have transportation, you'll get outside. You'll go up to the mountains. You'll do some of the things that are healthy for you also, right? But also to be able to have some joy and recreation too, it's important. Economic mobility and climate resiliency has to go hand in hand. If we look at those separately, then we leave out a whole group of people. I do this not just for myself, I do it for my son, and hopefully he has kids, my grandkids.
All right, so when I say se puede, what are you saying? Sí se puede. Se puede. Se puede. All right, Dr. Little right here with us today. We're going to take a quick picture.
When I saw that Ray was introducing me, I was like, they just didn't know what they were doing, did they?
Somebody asked me. I thought I forgot something. All right, we'll have the senators, Caballero, Senator, oh, my good friend, Senator Ana Caballero will step up. Got an additional certificate, lucky you, see? We got a bunch of certificates for you, Dr. Little. Here you go.
Tell her I said thank you. Of course. Okay. Thank you. Woo! Okay, I don't know if it's good or bad to go last, but we're gonna make this happen. But before I say that, I've entered this space probably about right during COVID. So I was a newbie to all the acronyms and all the things that's all transportation. And when you walk into spaces, I don't know about you all, but I know when I do, I always look for somebody familiar or somebody that I can get comfortable. And Ray has always grounded me in those spaces. So I do want to say thank you, Ray. At every turn of our transformative community climates project that I won't say much more about, he helped, having his face in those spaces really calmed me down and kind of gave me the inspiration I was like, I got Ray, he gonna do all the talking anyway. So to do what I need to do, so thank you. First, I'm gonna say good afternoon, everyone, good evening now, everyone. And I am deeply honored to stand here today and as one of the recipients for the California Energy Commission Clean Energy Hall of Fame Award.
To be recognized among so many innovators, advocates, and visionaries who are shaping the future of our state's energy landscape is really humbling, and also today has been very inspiring for me. I don't know about you all. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you to the California Energy Commission. Like I said in the film, when I first started, California Energy Commission was the first grant that was transitioned to me from our former CEO. That really kind of got me in the space in regards to energy, and it gave us the funding, definitely gave us a foundation to start the work that we are continuing to do. So thank you, California Energy Commission, for always being supportive of the Fresno Metro Black Chamber of Commerce. I also want to thank Strategic Growth Council and the City of Fresno grants team that for their funding and partnership that help us lay the foundation for the work we're able to continue to do now. But this award really is not just about me. I must thank my team, who most of them are here. I always say, I said some of them have to stay, somebody have to be in the office. But without my mobility team and my team at Fresno Metro Black Chamber of Commerce, none of this would have happened. And so, there's always has to be a face, and I'm happy to be that face today, but believe me, I'm training others to do this, to transition this on. But I do want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you for always supporting me and listening to me and my rants and sometimes my screams, and still staying side by side with me. Thank you. My journey began not in an office or in a boardroom, but in neighborhoods of East Palo Alto, California, a community at a time where hope and hardship often live side by side. I grew up watching families make miracles from scarcity, building communities where resources were few, but determination was abundant. So thank you, thank you, California Energy Commission, for seeing us, for seeing me, and for acknowledging our hard work and our commitment to ensure that no community is left behind in California's clean energy future, and for affirming that when community and innovation unite, we all rise. My baby sister actually is the one who I'm the eldest of 5 girls, my poor mother. But and my baby sister is the one who nominated me. And when she told me she was going to do that, I first told her, no, don't do that. And then I was like, don't do that. And then I was like, no, go ahead and do that. Because a lot of times we really do a lot of blood, sweats, and tears, and no one sees our work. And so, I do want to give a special thanks to her and the rest of my sisters for always being there and being great support for me. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Little. Well, just to close this out, I want to just come back to how we started. 2025 is throwing a lot at us. There's some things this year that have happened that are just, that hurt my heart, they hurt our hearts. You mentioned Jaime ICE, right? The budget for ICE in the United States is bigger now than the Marine Corps, and there's stuff that's happening that is crazy. And so, when we got to January, the Trump administration began. I had one of my neighbors in my neighborhood pass out these little signs that just said resist. And so a bunch of us had those in our windows. And after a while, my wife said, that word doesn't capture sort of the totality of what we need to be doing. And she shared a quote with me. For me, it really resonated, which was from Buckminster Fuller, something to the effect of, don't fight to dismantle old paradigms, create new paradigms that by virtue of their success make the old paradigms obsolete. And the word we need to do is create, okay? And that is what I see happening here. This room, this is a postcard from the future, okay? And I think what we do here creates a light that can spread to the rest of the country. And that, we need to live how we want the nation and the world to be. And that starts with treating each other with respect, with uplifting each other, being there, and to bring good new things to life. And so I just want to invite us all to lean in with that spirit. And if we could, so we're going to be following this with a reception. But I just really want to invite everybody, if you haven't met these awardees in person, come shake their hands, give them a hug, say thank you. We'll have a chance to do that outside. But before we do, if I can invite all the awardees to just come on up, bring your plaques, and just stand up here, and let's give them all a big standing ovation. Come on up, you guys. Just stand right here. It's great. Yeah. All right, give it up for the 2025 Clean Energy Award winners. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. As we make our way to the lobby, I want to just take a minute to thank all the vendors who supported this, including Braylon Murray and his company, Collaborative for the videos, Phoenix Drumming and Dance for the performance, Jesse's Gateway Cafe for the food in the lobby, the Sacramento Tree Foundation for the plaques and the trees, and the original selfie booth where you can go take a selfie after this. That wraps up our ceremony. Let's head to the lobby. Thank you, guys.